Step up to the light.
Alright.
Very nice. I love it.
That's animal.
Animal, yeah.
Nobody brought their dogs yet. Do you have a dog with you? Thank you.
Are you guys Cookie Monsters?
Cookie Monsters, yes.
Well, folks, the Mid-Atlantic Cross Country Series has invaded White Rose Motorcycle Club. And as you can tell, it is Halloween, and all the stars have come out. I'm not sure exactly who my favorite is, but they were all so dang good. I'm right there. It is Cousin Eddie. I'm gonna give it to you. I think you are that was my pick. He was good. Perfect. Dave Upgiven the morning meeting. I thought he deserved a Pirates welcome. And I loved Jess and Grant's. Not sure what motorcycle that is, but them glasses just make the pup. Old Slash, he was a close second, man. He had the cool factor all in. There they are, all together. Well, we're getting ready to get this thing started. I had to knock the rust off. I wasn't paying attention a whole lot here. Should have been more focused for sure. I had the bike in neutral, then I bumped it down to first, then in the second, and finally got her going. Come out dead last. I'm just going to give you a lap through here. You can get a good idea how White Rose it was in the cross country. Now, if you were here the day before, you got to get into some really good grass track action. There's Craig, my buddy. He's letting me around. He wasn't sure how that DT was going to run, so he just kind of wanted to stretch his legs a little bit and see how it was going to go. He wasn't really out for the race as much as it was just to get a little bit of time on that bike. It's kind of a nice mix out through here. Hit your first little uphill here, just snaking around trying to figure the course out. These guys did a great job, the whole track crew. Here's part of that grass track action we had yesterday. I'll have a video out with a couple motos of the vintage and one of the millennial bikes out there running, and you'll see some top-notch stuff. Now this right through here, listen. Wham! Oh, that sucker hurt. There was a grapevine hanging down and it was cut. It come down and smashed me right in the noggin. It was tight through here. Kind of fun though. You weren't even going to think about getting a pass out through here. I'm just wondering to myself, alright, where's this going to end up at? I know we're sneaking over toward the far end of the grass track, and that's exactly where we're going to come out at, right on the top up here. And it is balls to the wall, third, fourth, fifth gear, just letting her crank out through here and letting them old vintage bikes breathe. I got off the course. I wasn't exactly sure where to go. There was a break in the ribbon, and I thought that was where we went through, and it wasn't. Snaked around one guy there. We got the 50 and the 60 plus class in this race. So there's a lot of gray hair just flying around in through here. I'm telling you what though, we all still know how to race it. Later on in the race, I was working on getting up on this bike a little bit. hadn't raced this thing for over a year. So I'm getting used to the big bore, clutching a little bit. This front end needs some work. I think the front shocks are completely out of oil. Just rebounds really harsh. We'll tear them apart this winter and get things all up to snuff for next year. We're going to try to do a lot more vintage racing. As you can tell, we didn't get any of that rain they were calling for, and when you're in the back of the pack, you're going to settle for eating some dust, and that's exactly what I'm doing right now. Can't really make a pass, don't know what's ahead. I know guys are getting away. Not sure who this fella is up in front of me, but he's not holding a bad pace. Felt like I could go a little faster, but wasn't out for any points or anything in this race, so it wasn't a big deal really. Right here, I think the course is going straight, no returning, the ribbon's down a little bit. And that's why you didn't want to make that pass too quick on that first lap until you figured out what the course looked like, that's for sure. Oh, Tater. Had problems. First lap. Not good. I love these guys getting out there racing in their costumes and whatnot. It just makes this one of the most unique races out there that you can do. I hear other bikes up there. We're slowly reeling some of them guys in. There's a nice pack of them, 4 or 5 guys out in front of us here. And we're slowly catching him. Like I said, this guy, he doesn't have a bad pace at all. Just can't catch a number plate on that sucker. Oh, we're going to sneak underneath there. Now we're going to see if we can reel some of these other guys in. Try not to overshoot any turns myself. But I'm slowly reeling him in. I can see him up there. I ended up finishing this race in 4th place. I came across in 3rd place, the next to the last lap, and they scored me as 4th place on the last lap, so we'll take 4th place. Didn't really have too many problems. I had one small, tiny little wipeout, and that was about it. Nothing really to speak of. I really enjoyed this course, all brand new if you ask me. I didn't get a chance because of work to get down here last year, and this year it looks totally different to me. There are just a few small handful of parts of the track you'll recognize, but for the most part this is all virgin single track. Finally caught these guys. Now I'm going to start pushing the envelope a little bit, try to get around a couple of them, and we'll see how this goes. One thing I noticed, the first lap here, you're thinking, yeah, I'll get a pass on you're starting to pick out your spots where you're going to make a pass here and there, but kind of really windy, and unless your name's Kevin Marshall, you're not going to make some of these heroic passes and pull them off on these old vintage bikes. They just don't got that snap you need to really get that quick acceleration to get through stuff. Kevin has a handle on that and can figure it all out. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. I see old Mike Ruggieri up there. He started right beside me. A little bit of small talk got me distracted, and then, oh, there's Anthony. I think he blowed his bike up. Not good. We had a bad weekend for bikes. jumping that little uphill there later on in the race. Out onto that road, hammer down. I wonder how many of these guys are in championship point battles. I think they said there's 11 or 12 that are going to be decided today by how they finish. One finishes in front of the other is going to get the championship. That's how tight the points are in a lot of these races this year. It's funny, it always seems to come down to that too. Out of the little fire road. You can tell this Virgin single track, especially being the first guys out on it, was kind of slick with the leaves and everything. Now we're gonna bust out onto their little motocross track they got at the top of the hill climb up here. There was some photographers out there in the race taking some pretty awesome action shots on some of them bigger jumps, and I really thought right here's where I'm gonna let this thing stretch its legs, and I'm gonna make a pass on one of these guys, and start catching up in the pack a little bit. But that's the one thing, you get into single track and you're not really seeing an opportunity to pass much, and you don't know the track yet. So you're thinking, all right, I'll wait until I get out on that motocross section. You know there's going to be some big grassy sections, but when you're passing in third, fourth, fifth gear, they're cranking through the same gears, and they're getting after it as well, thinking the same thing. So most of the guys have their bikes geared low for the woods, and you're really not going to get that massive power of top speed you need to get by on these high speed sections. So you're better off to try to chop a corner off early or something, I think. I'll tell you, this was my least favorite part of the course. And not that it's a bad part of the course at all. It's just that it was hard to see your line up in front of you. It was really tight. And then you got into this section right here where it goes down over this hill, and this would have actually been a pretty good spot to maybe possibly make a pass here if you could got up tight, maybe caught on the inside right here. You had to be careful because you're on the hill climb right there. That's one of the access roads across the hill climb. Now down here the track is going to split. Mike, I think, either gets confused or he isn't sure about which way to go. Now I went down this way 3 out of 4 laps. On the last lap, I took the way Mike did off to the left there, went down around it. Actually, in my opinion, it may be just a smidgen longer, but it was, I think, faster. Then you had this nice little hill climb here. It's hard to see in a video, but that had some steepness to it right there. Now we're going to come down around here, and I'm going to put my blinders on. I'm like, which way do I go? Them orange arrows that pointed to the right, and I'm thinking I want to go straight out through there. Nope. Looking, them guys on the motorcycles are there, they're like, you need to turn around. I want to go that hole, not that one on the left. Got it, figured it out. That other guy already's got about 35 bikes on me already, and I don't think I'm going to see him much, or if I do, it's going to be later in the race here. I do see him. He messes up on the one turn right after the motocross, and him and I go actually back and forth, I think, 2 times in the race. It was a good little battle between us because everybody else kind of left us. There were some kids, probably 8 8, 9, 10 years old. They were here with their parents, and they were racing the kids' race and stuff up there on that access road, just cheering you on in different parts of the race. And man, it got you going. It was great. I think I'll be blowing my nose for 3 or 4 days straight, just trying to get some of that powdery dust that I was breathing in out. Because boy, was it dusty, and you just couldn't escape it, couldn't get away from it. And the leaves still ain't off these trails yet, and some of these downhills and some of the turns that have the berms that aren't. Hey, Emily, I saw and got scared by both of those skeletons right there. They just kind of come up on me there, and I sat back in my seat for a little bit, if you didn't notice that. Just kidding. I laughed when I looked up and seen them. They were almost like folklore skeletons that were out there. I wasn't expecting a paper one. I thought they were going to be the 3D ones. Alright, back to the race. Still in the single track. We're kind of snaking down up this hollow that we used to do at the beginning of the race. You can see the motocross course off to your right out there. We're sneaking up along the left edge of this out through here. Good part of the trail. Loved it. There's the man, Rick Huth, giving us the thumbs up. Now we're going to start snaking our way down and heading back toward that start-finish line. Start to see a few spectators up here. It's getting to where they can ride their pit bikes up and cheer you on from up on top up here. And a lot of spectators out there this weekend. It was a blast. Everybody kind of down in the hollow, seeing who's coming through, seeing where their favorite rider's at. I'm so used to going left right there. Had to train yourself to, alright, we're going right. We're going to keep going out through down this hollow. Almost got a lap in. Gotta tell you folks, it was great to be back amongst friends, and hope to see y'all with a nice vintage bike, post-vintage bike, and the KTM, and we'll just take our pick of what we want to go for next year. Happy holidays, and talk to y'all a little later. That's a lap for you out here at White Rose in 2022. Take care.